Hello and welcome. So, you're a manager and you're staring down this massive, complex, and probably pretty expensive AI project. The stakes are, well, they're high. The biggest question is, what's your roadmap? How do you steer this thing? Today, we're going to explore the different project management methodologies that can be your guide to success. Let's jump right in. Now, before we really get going, I just want to give you a little context. What you're about to see is a high-level introduction to a full 15-chapter course from Virtualization Options LLC. It's called Comparing Project Management Methodologies for AI Implementations. So think of today as us looking at the map of our journey. We'll hit all the key landmarks, and in future explainers, we're going to dive deep into each one of those 15 chapters. So here's our game plan for today. First, we'll get into why AI projects are such a unique beast. Then we'll check out two very different toolkits, the super flexible agile approach and the more rigid structured frameworks. After that, a quick look at the software that brings it all to life, and then we'll tie it all together to help you start building a real strategy. Okay, let's kick things off with the big question from Chapter 1 of the course. Why on earth are AI projects so different from everything else? Seriously, understanding this is the absolute first step. If you don't get this, you're starting on the wrong foot. So why can't we just dust off the old project plan that's always worked before? Well, it really boils down to two things: insane technical complexity and just massive, massive uncertainty. See, with AI, you're not just building a bridge to a known specification. You're basically on an expedition, a journey of discovery, trying to figure out what's even possible as you go. And to put a really fine point on that, get a load of this statistic from Chapter 1. A staggering 60 to 80%. Let that sink in. Of the entire project effort can be eaten up just by data preparation. That one phase alone can be bigger than many entire traditional IT projects. It's a whole different ballgame. So, to handle that challenge, Chapter 1 lays out these 4 critical pillars for success. You absolutely need clear business goals. You have to be ready with your data. You need teams with people from all over the company, and you need a governance model that can actually adapt. Any methodology you pick has to be built on this foundation. Okay, with that foundation in place, let's explore our first set of tools. Chapters 2 through 5 of the course are all about this family of flexible, iterative approaches that are pretty much perfect for the experimental nature of AI. We're talking about the Agile Toolkit. Chapter 2 gets into the core philosophy here, Agile itself. And the idea is actually pretty simple, but it's so powerful. You work in short cycles, you learn from what you build, and, this is key, you prioritize responding to change over just blindly following a plan. This is absolutely essential when you have no idea how a model is going to perform on day one. So if Agile is the philosophy, then Scrum, which is the topic of Chapter 3, is the playbook. It adds a layer of structure with really defined roles, like a product owner and a Scrum Master, and it has these regular meetings they call ceremonies. It brings some much-needed accountability to that flexible, agile world. Then, in Chapter 4, we meet a different flavor of this, Lean. This idea actually comes from manufacturing, and its one and only goal is to eliminate waste. In AI, what does that mean? Well, it could be not building model features that nobody needs, or cutting down the time data scientists are just sitting around waiting for data. It's all about a laser focus on creating value. And the final tool we'll look at in our Agile Kit from Chapter 5 is Kanban. The easiest way to think about this is a big visual board showing every single task and where it is in the process. It's a great system for creating a smooth, continuous flow of work. It's perfect for teams that are, say, supporting an AI model that's already live and getting all sorts of requests. But look, Agile isn't always the complete answer, especially if you're in a highly regulated industry. For those projects that demand way more control and governance, we turn to Chapters 6 through 9 and the world of structured and specialized frameworks. Chapter 6 introduces a really important one, CPMAI. Now, unlike a lot of other methods that were just sort of adapted for AI, this one was built from the ground up specifically for AI projects. Its phases directly mirror the AI lifecycle, from understanding the business and the data all the way through to deploying and evaluating the model. You might be a little surprised to see this next one. Chapter 7 takes a look at waterfall. Yeah, the old school sequential method. And while it's usually a terrible fit for experimental AI, it can actually be the right choice in a very specific situation, when you're implementing a proven AI solution in a field that requires a mountain of upfront documentation and approvals. Next up in Chapter 8 is the PMBOK guide. Now, it is crucial to understand this. PMBOK isn't a methodology you just do. It's much more like an encyclopedia of project management knowledge. It covers everything: risk, scope, quality, you name it. And you pull from it to tailor a process for your specific AI project. And rounding out this section, Chapter 9 explores Prince 2. This one is very process-heavy, and it absolutely excels at governance. Its whole focus is on continuous business justification and control, which makes it perfect for making sure a really complex AI initiative stays tightly aligned with what the executives want. So we've covered the philosophies, the frameworks, all the big ideas. But how do you actually put them into practice? Chapters 10 and 11 give us a preview of the tools of the trade, the actual digital platforms where the work gets done. The course dives into two of the biggest players. In Chapter 10, there's Jira, which is this incredibly powerful tool that's super customizable for technical development teams. Then Chapter 11 covers Asana, which is all about ease of use and is fantastic for keeping the non-technical folks, the business stakeholders, in the loop. Okay, we've seen the unique challenges of AI, we've looked at the different toolkits you can use, so in our final section, we're going to preview the capstone chapters, 12 through 15. This is where it all comes together, where theory becomes practice, as we learn how to pick and choose from these ideas to build a winning strategy. And here's the big secret from Chapter 12. You don't have to choose just one methodology. In fact, the most successful AI projects almost never do. They create a hybrid, taking the best of both worlds. For instance, you might use the strict governance of Prince 2 for your executive reporting, while your data science team is humming along using the speed and flexibility of Scrum. So how in the world do you choose the right blend? Well, Chapter 13 gives us a really clear 4-step framework. You start by assessing your project's unique context, you figure out your absolute must-haves, then you select and combine the right methods, and this is the most important part, you pilot the new process and you refine it as you go. And the power of this hybrid approach is just captured perfectly in this quote from a case study in Chapter 14. This project manager in healthcare said they found a way to give executives confidence with a structured approach while keeping their data scientists productive and engaged with agile practices. I mean, that's the balance, right? That's what we're all looking for. And finally, Chapter 15 just boils it all down to these core best practices. These are like the universal truths for AI projects, no matter what methodology you end up choosing. Start with business value, not the cool tech. Check if your data is ready early and often. Build those cross-functional teams, and please, design for how this thing will actually run in the real world from day one. So, we'll end with a question for you to take back to your team. Take a hard look at your current process. Is it really built for the unique challenges of AI? Is it built for success? Remember, this was just the introduction. The full 15-chapter course is designed to give you all the tools you need to confidently answer yes to that question.